this brings us to a really wonderful discussion about what am I, we're speaking of you standing in your physical shoes, what am I bringing to the co-creational table? What am I bringing to the conference table where we all confer and co-create? What am I bringing there? Well, you're bringing the mix of vibrations that are going on within you right now. And how do you know what that mix is? Because it changes. It changes from day to day. It even changes from moment to moment. But how do I know what my mixture is? Your mood tells you. If you feel lighthearted and happy, what you're bringing to the table is going to be beneficial to you and everybody who meets with you. If you're ornery, if you're disappointed in yourself or someone else, if you're in a sad mood or a bad mood, if you're feeling sorry for yourself, then your mood is your indicator that the mixture that you're bringing to the table. Now, it's possible that you might have rendezvoused with others who have enough other stuff going on that you might not be an important mix, but that's not usually the case, because usually law of attraction is pretty discriminating about where you show up. Your impulse to go there has everything to do with what your mood is, you see. So when you get there, and you can't tell how anybody's doing, you can't even tell how yourself is doing, just because you've got a big phony smile on your face or phony words that are coming out of your mouth. It's your mood. It's how you feel. How are you feeling? Do you feel peppy? Do you feel enthusiastic? Do you feel eager? Are you loving these people that you're visiting with? Do you look at them and you're just sort of dripping love? Do you want to be with them? Are you eager to hear what they say? You want to hear their words? You want to know what they mean right here, right now? Because what they mean here, right now could be very beneficial to you, because you're a mix, and everybody in the mix has something important to add to it, you see. Something important that really brings the mood stronger to wherever it's leaning. That's why there's mob rule. That's why there are uplifters and there are detractors, you see. So what you're helping us to say is, it's not now that you've shown up what's going on. It's what were you doing before you showed up to prepare your vibrational atmosphere? Did you show up open and eager and in love with life? Or did you show up pensive and worried? And so forth.
And that's the majority of the time. So if I was having a bad experience 20 minutes before this conversation, but went into the conversation in a good mood now, like, would that have had a...
That's good for you, but really?
Yeah.
You think you can shift the world on its axis in 20 minutes? That's faking it until you make it.
Right, okay.
You could dress real pretty and put a smile on your face and tell yourself a joke on your way down. But your moods are usually longer lasting than that. That's why we ask you to be nice to yourselves. That's why we ask you to rest well and fuel yourselves and have experiences that hold you more steady in that place of appreciation. Take the time to settle in to the well-being that is so ready to permeate your whole experience. Don't cram for the test right before.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't just memorize a bunch of stuff so that you get good marks on the chart, because it's your vibrational input that matters. Yes?
Yeah, thank you. I have one more quick question. Just about the vortex, and is there, it sounds weird, but is there different levels to being in the vortex? Like, some days I'm just like satisfied and I'm like cruising along and everything's like good, and then other days I'm ecstatic and so is there like am I coming in at different places into an alignment? Or
really, whether you feel ecstatic or whether you feel satisfied, you have equal access to your vortex. But here's the distinction. Just surrendering to the well-being of your life experience does not have you bouncing off the walls with enthusiasm. We understand what you're talking about these degrees of emotion, but let's call that momentum within the vibration. But when you meet your vortex, so here's your vortex, pure positive energy, and you meet it with no resistance. Meditation is meeting your vortex with no resistance, and your mind is quiet. Your mind is quiet, and yet there you are, ready to receive. So once you receive, and then you begin to focus in vibrational sync, in vibrational likeness with that satisfying feeling that you allowed your first receptive thoughts, then as you focus more specifically under the influence of that connection, that's when the emotion turns from satisfaction and peacefulness into that feeling of invincibility, into that feeling of passion. But that's as you come out into the world and you begin playing with others. Are you getting what we're talking about? We would rather see you in a state of appreciation than in a state of meditation, because in a state of appreciation there's more activity going on within you, and you have objects of attention that you're focused toward, so the energy is flowing through you in a more dynamic way. And the more energy that's flowing through you in a more dynamic way, the more you like it. In other words, it feels like more hands-on creating. But that period of time, let's have this conversation. The period of time, you talked about 20 minutes for mood changing. It doesn't take but seconds for your mood to change from satisfaction and peacefulness and contentment to clarity and eagerness and invincibility. In other words, once those floodgates are open, and once thoughts begin to flow to you, and once you find an object of attention to which you want to flow your pure positive energy thoughts, that's when the big stuff begins to happen. Did you hear that? And did the volume that Esther mustered help? That's why there are those who want to sit and meditate for long periods of time. And we are not offering any objection to that. We just want them to understand that once you're in alignment, you're in alignment. And once you're in alignment, then be the advantage to yourself and to the world that you were born to be. Focus on something and let that energy that creates worlds flow through you, because that's where your satisfaction becomes more and more and more and more. This conversation came, did you see how you guided it? Did you see how your question took us right into the beginning, and how every subsequent question took us to a fuller and fuller description of what's going on? Good job.